Greetings art lovers, and welcome to our second sneak peek at the upcoming Rockport Art Association and Museum's 2021 Annual Art Auction. Aye, but that's quite a mouthful. And if you want further information or to see this work online, please check out the RAA&M website at rockportartassn.org/auction. My name is Judith Curtis, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join me as we look at some more of the artwork on offer at the RAA&M's upcoming auction on Saturday, May 1st, live online at 2 p.m, conducted by auctioneer Michael March. And so, without further ado, let's head into the Martha Moore room at the RAA&M on Main Street and see what we have to show you today. We're going to take a quick look round at some of the work that we'll be talking about, and then we'll look at them more specifically. So we have Bernard Corey, Alfred Seropak, and then 3 paintings by the ever popular Lester Stevens. And here we have the ever popular Bernard Corey, Lot 101, Mist, oil on board, 11.5 inches by 15.5. Corey came to an art career later in life than most, but then he more than made up for it as an active and enthusiastic artist who could paint many a younger man or woman under the table. He was always the first to set up his easel and the last to leave. "I think working from photos in a studio is like drawing from a corpse," he said. "Why not go directly to the source? Why not step outside your front door?" He would come home from working all day and then go outdoors to paint a small panel. That's why he used 2 assorted sizes, a squarish one like 10 by 14 and a longish one like 10 by 16. Occasionally he used an odd sized one just to make him think differently and force him to take a fresh look at an old subject. "I like small canvases," he said. "I can concentrate more." Created a more intimate scene. Corey often toned his canvas with a paint-stained rag, using a warm or cool tone once he was on the spot to decide which he needed. Corey loved painting pure nature. You occasionally find the odd fisherman in the stream, but for the most part, the rural scenes were the focus he was looking for. "If a picture needs to be explained," he told Charles Mavarley, "then it's not a good picture. So I'm not going to try and explain this one, other than it is typical of the genre Corey loved, and is a great piece of painting." Next we have Lot 22, Alfred Seropak, baseball player. It measures 13 inches high by 9.5 wide and 3.5 deep. Interestingly, Seropak was first introduced to Cape Ann by Aldro Hibbard, Seropak's teacher at what is now Mass College of Art. And he also took summer classes with Hibbard in Rockport. The two became good friends, even though Seropak did not adhere to Hibbard's painting style. Seropak was more interested in pursuing alternative means, new theories and techniques, to express himself. Especially, he liked to push the boundaries of what was a very traditional art colony. He taught life drawing and sculpture for 15 years at Montserrat College of Art in Beverly and was admired by the new generation of up-and-coming artists that he taught. Most of his students found him an inspiration. The baseball player was made by Seropak for his friend Al Hibbard. As you can see, it's an innovative design and medium. Seropak loved to create things from cast-offs and detritus. As one woman said, Seropak was one of the best multimedia artists she had ever known. He could see something in everything. And here we have Lot 128, Village Church by W. Lester Stevens. It's an oil on canvas mounted on board, 18 by 22. Lester Stevens, to me, is one of the most recognisable artists from Cape Ann. His work was so good that even Emil Groupie was impressed. He said, "I saw Lester Stevens in a New York gallery. And boy, I thought, that's the stuff for me. So I headed to Rockport and then over to Gloucester." And this was how it was for many out-of-town artists. They would see paintings of Cape Ann in studios and galleries and decide they had to come and see it for themselves. Lester Stevens was the first professional painter born in Rockport, rather than imported, like many members of the artist community. He was a founding member of the Rockport Art Association 100 years ago this year, and was a great advocate for bringing art to the common man and woman. He was a compulsive painter, proud of the fact that he could do a 20 by 24 canvas in a couple of hours. Sometimes he'd paint as many as 3 pictures a day. He seemed to work on the quantity method, doing lots of pictures to winnow out the best. He told Charles Mavalli that, after a summer on Monhegan, "I've done 60 paintings and got 6 good ones." He repeatedly told students there are no formulas in art. He liked to experiment with different media. Sometimes he'd design with a line, sometimes he would work with negative shapes. He loved strong, exaggerated patterns of light. He'd do the big overall design first, one student remembered, and then develop small designs within it, everything helping the whole. Again, the idea of gestalt comes into play, variety within unity, and looking for a wholeness. He worked with thick paint strokes, very alla prima, or all in one go. He painted quickly and decisively, as you can see in these paintings. He'd lay down a stroke and leave it. As Mavalli described it, Stevens played up the lines he liked and painted over the ones he no longer wanted. Despite the number of paintings Stevens created, his work never looks jaded. They always have a fresh quality to them. As you stand beside them, like this spring piece or winter scene, the enjoyment he had painting them is palpable. Spring is lot number 50, oil on canvas 25 by 30 inches, and winter scene is lot 56, oil on canvas 20 by 24. As you can see, these are so typically Lester Stevens. The colour is as strong and bold as his own character, and whenever you look at something like this, you can feel the man who once was the first artist to be born in Rockport. And yet, curiously, he was also the first painter to leave Rockport, moving out to western Massachusetts in the 50s because he felt that the area of Rockport and Cape Ann was becoming too commercialised. Well, that's it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek at work in Rockport Art Association and Museum's 2021 art auction, coming up Saturday, May 1st, live online at 2 p.m. And so until next week, goodbye, and thank you for tuning in.